Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Urban Update. I'm Byron Barnett. On the show this morning, an organization whose mission is to catalyze economic change in India, where more than 800 million people live on less than $2 a day. Also on the show, superheroes doing some very super things in the community as we will interview Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman and find out how they use their superpowers to help children. But up first, we open with a proud native of Lynn, Massachusetts. He has held every position with the MBTA Transit Police Department and has recently become only the second African American to be named MBTA Transit Police Chief. Right from the start, he has publicly announced that one of his priorities is making his department more diverse, as nearly 75% of the department's 277 officers are white, even though most of the calls for service are in Boston, which is now a majority minority city with more than 53% of its citizens being non-white. We now welcome Transit Police Chief Kenneth Green. Ken Green, as he likes to be called. Welcome back to Urban Update, Ken.
Thank you, Byron. Thank you for having me here.
Well, Chief, as I said, welcome back. And tell us, for those who missed you when you were on the show and you were the acting interim chief, take me through your journey through the Transit Police system. My understanding is you've held just about everything you can, every position you can hold there.
Yeah, that's correct. I've held every supervisory position. I've been a police officer for the MBTA Transit Police Department for 25 years. Within that 25 years, I've been a patrolman, a sergeant, a lieutenant for a quick minute when I was appointed Deputy Chief of Night Operations. I was also appointed the interim chief when the old chief decided to retire. And after a lengthy 6-month process of nationwide search, I became the permanent chief last October, October 21st, 2015. So it's been about five months now.
Wow, that's very, very impressive. Now, I mentioned in the beginning one of your priorities, making the department more diverse. How do you plan on doing that?
Well, first and foremost, Byron, we plan on doing a concentrated effort in recruiting qualified minority candidates at job fairs, at universities, at colleges, spreading the word on shows such as this, and at various community events. Another method that we want to explore and hopefully initiate is to have a police cadet program. Now, Boston has been very successful in obtaining people of color on their department by utilizing their cadet program. I want to, well, I'm not going to say I want to, I plan on modeling our program similar to theirs. And I'm confident that it will greatly aid us in our goal of diversification.
What kind of, candidates would you be looking for cadets? I mean, what do you have to, do you have need certain qualifications or type of person or what?
Absolutely. Again, we want to modelize after BPD. So you would have to be at least 18 years old, 18 to 24, 5 years of Boston residency, pass a background check. You would have to successfully pass a civil service exam as well and have a 3-year commitment in the program.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you think about everything that's happened in the past couple of years here across the country, I mean, all the unrest and everything from Ferguson on down, I guess, is it more difficult than ever to recruit police from communities of color?
I would think so. I believe so. I mean, with the videos and the images that we've seen, that we've all seen in the last few years, it doesn't put law enforcement in a good light, if you will. We're at a pivotal time in our profession. We need to be more transparent in what we do and how we enforce the law. And we must also be more inclusive and communicate with the very same people that we were sworn to protect and serve.
Well, what do you say to a young kid a young kid of color, 18 to 24 years old, I'm saying a young kid, about convincing them about why they should want to be a police officer?
Well, because number one, I mean, if I'm talking to a kid, I mean, that kid has the qualifications that we're looking for and that we need. So I would sell our position, our job to them. Say, listen, come and be one of us. You know, you have those qualifications I'm looking for. You're in college, you have a good record, you're a good speaker, you're a good people person. Those are the type of people we need.
Okay. What about other long-term goals that you have?
I think one of them would be I would want to leave the police department a better place than when I first started, before I started the stewardship. Also, I want the safest transit system as possible. And as I said earlier, I want the MBTA Transit Police Department to be more reflective of the communities that we serve.
Okay. Now, some people might not understand the jurisdiction between the MBTA Transit Police and the Boston Police and other departments. Can you sort of give us a quick little lesson on that, what the differences or the difference in jurisdiction?
Sure. The MBTA Transit Police Department police have jurisdiction in 175 cities and towns. So what that means, wherever the buses go, wherever the trains go, we have jurisdiction in that city or town. We have great relationships with our partners in law enforcement within those cities and towns. We need that in order to share information and resources with them. One of our biggest partners is Boston Police Department. We do a lot of collaborations and special events with them. I think, if I can say, I think the people of Boston are very fortunate to have the people that they have right now in these positions, in these leadership positions, such as Mayor Marty Walsh, Police Commissioner Evans, Superintendent-in-Chief Willie Gross. These folks, like myself, really care about their community and what happens to people in those communities.
Okay. Now, I asked you before what type of person you're looking for to be in the police, but what about the requirements, like the specific requirements needed to be part of the T Police Department?
Yeah, I mean, with us, with all law enforcement agencies in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, you have to at least be 21 years of age. The difference with us is twofold. It doesn't matter what age you are. There's no cutoff age with us, as long as you can pass through the process. You can get into our academy. You can be 50 years old and get into our academy, as long as you can pass.
Does it start at 21?
Starts at 21, though, and there's no cutoff. Whereas a lot of places are 32, 38, and things like that. We don't have a cutoff, and we don't have a residency either. You have to take the civil service exam. You have to successfully pass that exam, and hopefully get a high grade where you could be considered for a position with us.
Is that something you can study for and so forth?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure you can go to the library or you can get some information where you can study for the civil service exam.
Okay, all right. One question, what about the weather? Does the weather affect the crime rate on the T? For example, is the T busier? Are you busier in the summer than the winter or at all? Or?
No, absolutely not. See, this is what's unique of transit policing. When there's cold weather outside, people seek shelter in our transit stations, which already have a high concentration of people. With that, you have more opportunities for people with bad intentions to commit criminal acts, such as larcenies and armed robberies and such. So the answer to that question is no, we're not less busy in the winter.
Okay.
No.
One little quick thing here, something we talked about on the show before. What is a hot seat on the subway? Yeah,
the hot seat is the seat closest to the door. A lot of time, people are on their smartphones and not paying attention, or they're on their phone not paying attention. There are other people watching them. So when the train pulls into the station, the doors open up, a bad guy or a bad person will snatch that phone and run right out the train and run out the station. So try to avoid that seat. If you're going to sit in that seat, don't be on your smartphone.
Okay, all right. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, if I could, I would like to, I'm only one person, and I had so much support from many, many, many people. I would just like to say thank you to all the support that I've been given to become the 14th chief of the MBTA Transit Police Department.
And a role model for a lot of kids out there.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, Chief Ken Green, thanks for coming in, and good luck in managing that big department.
Thank you for having me, Byron.
All right, coming up next, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman using their superpowers for the good of children. Details coming up right here in Urban Update. Stay with us.